Hello, hello. What's up, witches? How are we? Hi, it is so good to see you all. Just give me 1 second. I am just going to update my name with my pronouns. And if you haven't had a chance to do that yet for yourself, please do so. And if you don't know how to do that with the tech and all of that good stuff, then when you introduce yourself, I'll ask you to please clarify how you prefer to be addressed. So what's up, everybody? It's really good to see you all. Forgive me if I'm a little bit frazzled. My husband and I just got back from a trip and travel plans. It's like birthday deja vu all over again. No. Did not go the way they were supposed to. And so instead of getting here at 3 in the afternoon and being able to unwind and get ready and everything like that, I just walked in the door like a few minutes ago. So if I seem a little frazzled or disorganized, it's just because I didn't have my regular prep time. But luckily, I had already prepared the screen and some notes and things like that for this meeting before I went out of town. So I wanted to make sure I was still able to hold this session for everybody. And I'm so grateful that you're all here. So welcome, welcome. I think a couple of new faces. Hi, Shonda. I don't know if we have been in a meeting together before, so welcome, welcome. And then of course I see, the original gangsters in the house, all the usual. So I'm so happy to see you guys back. I pray that you're all doing really well. Just because we do have a new person, I will just recap kind of how we do the meetings. This will be old news to a lot of you. But basically, I usually just start us off with some introductions. I invite folks to share their name, where they're located in the world, who are the original stewards of the land that you're on, and anything else that you'd like to say in terms of what you expect from this meeting or from being in this book club. And then I'll start us off with a short opening prayer just to kind of get us into the right mindset, and we will start talking. Today, we are going to be covering notes from the second half of Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. And you're certainly welcome, being that this is the second meeting on this book, you're certainly welcome to talk about anything in the book at this point. When we have our first meeting, we like to try to limit it to the first half of the book so that people who haven't got beyond that don't feel like they are behind or don't know what's going on. But now that this is the second meeting and we're towards the end of the book or at the end of the book, it's all game. We can talk about any sections, any topics that came up, anything like that, okay? So I'll kick it off with the introductions, and then I'll just go through alphabetically. And I saw that Josie popped off, so if she comes back in, I'll get her in the rotation as well. So I am Alysha Kravetz, also known as BronxWitch, and I am from the Bronx, New York, and the Bronx is Lenape land. Lenape-Ho-King, the original stewards of this land were the Lenape people. And my intention, my expectation from this session is to get a better understanding of how this program may be helping folks, not be helping folks. This is a great time for us to kind of talk about our overall impressions of the program and of the book itself, and whether or not people feel like it's been helpful to them, if it's something that, applies to their life right now, et cetera, et cetera. So I have my own thoughts on that, which I'll share when we get to discussing. But I am very excited to hear from you guys about how you've been enjoying the book so far. All right, so I'm just gonna go down the list alphabetically. So I think that means Betty is next, and it looks like you're already unmuted. So I'm gonna mute myself and you can go whenever.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. I currently live on or around Mohawk land, but I am from a maritime tribe, which is Mi'kmaq, which is of the Alipu. And I have been able to reach out to some relatives out down there, and I'm starting to connect with them and learn more about my heritage. I've read the book. I've skipped a few areas because some of it was, okay, I think I read that in the last gateway. I took from it knowledge. I feel like I'm a sponge right now, and I'm on the spiritual path, and I want to read. I want to be part of a discussion. I want to share my self-love. She said yes to the dress. So we're moving along on that wedding. But that's me.
Congratulations to your family. That's so exciting. Yay. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to mute you, my dear, and I am going to move next. I think next would be Irene. So I'm going to click on you.
Okay. My name is Irene Williams. I'm from DC. I am not going to butcher their name out of respect. So this is where can you see it? So those are the original people from this area. The crazy part about this area, DC never was really in existence. We're part of Maryland and Virginia, even though Virginia nagged on an agreement, and it's supposed to be Arlington to make us a diamond. But that's who the original people of this land is. The book, Still Not Friends, we distant associates. I do agree with a lot. I'm just not grown enough for those areas yet. So I haven't completely grown up yet, even though I'm gonna be 50 next year. But anyway, this group, honestly, I'm gonna be truthful, because I turned into a hermit since Rona, and I wish this was a daily group, but I ain't gonna pressure y'all into nothing, because my 14-year-old want to get away from me. So, love y'all. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, I definitely, when I am like fully back, on Instagram and on all my social media and stuff, we'll definitely be looking into ways for us to meet even more frequently, even if it's just like on lives, like member only lives and stuff like that. So that helps me to know that people would be interested in coming together even more frequently. So that's awesome. Thank you. All right. So I think next would be Miss Josie. So I'm going to click on unmute for you.
Hi, everyone. And first of all, I just want to say, Allie, I am so glad you are back. I missed you, and I'm glad you came back safely. And I hope you are well. You look well rested, so I assume you are. As far as I'm Josie. And I guess everybody know that now because we all know each other, right? Aries, goddess of fire. But I'm originally from Alexandria, Virginia, but I've made DC my home forever, ever since I got out of high school. So I'm from Washington, DC. So Irene, I'm glad that you did the research, because I did it as well. I can't pronounce that name, so you got it, girl. As far as the book is concerned, I kind of like lost interest. I'm going to be honest. I just lost interest. I think the last part of the book that I really enjoyed was the house cleaning, telling you how to clean your house, and the beauty part as far as doing the mask for yourself. I love that part. But the rest, and you all know how I felt about the animals and all that stuff. I didn't do any of that. But I'm just, I'm glad we're all here, and I agree with Irene. I wish we could meet on a daily basis or more often than what we do. So maybe we can work on that. But that's all I gotta say.
Thank you for that, Josie. Thank you. Thank you for being honest about how you have received the book and everything like that. I think that's important because, as we go through different books, not every book is going to resonate with each person. It's not going to be interesting for everybody. But I still want you guys to come to the meetings and talk about that. You know what I mean? It's a book club, not a book lover club. So even if you hate a book, I'd love to have you be a part of the group and share with everybody how you feel about it. So thank you for sharing that. We'll get more into what parts of the book people connected with. And I like the beauty part too. I actually highlighted some things that that I plan on reading to you guys and kind of talking about this session. So thank you for that. Next, it looks like Shonda will be next. So I'm gonna ask to unmute you. You'll see a thing on your screen shortly, and take it away. I don't think we can hear you, Shonda. So let's see. You are unmuted, so it might be your headphones. Oh,
I had my headset muted.
there we go. Gotcha. All right.
But I'm Shonda, and I'm so glad that I found this group. As of origins, I have no clue. I'm from North Carolina, and we have a lot of indigenous. But this is all new to me. I have researched and kind of fell in love with Wicca, and I've lost some people. I've lost some family. I am a preacher's daughter, so go figure. But I think this path that I'm on, I'm a whole lot happier. And I am enjoying myself. And it's great. Even my children are interested in what I'm doing because they see mom's not as angry. Or when mom's angry, she stops and she takes a breath. She meditates. So yeah, that's helped a lot. So I just recently found you and your group, and this is great because I have connected with things that I've never connected with before being in your group and watching your videos. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to have you. Your story is very similar to a lot of ours. So welcome. And if you haven't already seen posts about the Witches of Color support group, I definitely invite you, if you identify as BIPOC and feel comfortable with identifying as a witch. We do have a support group that is meeting tomorrow. Hopefully folks saw that it was rescheduled because of my trip. So we'll be meeting tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So I definitely invite you to tune in to that Zoom as well. In that Zoom, we'll talk more about our personal experiences, and I definitely welcome you to be there. So thank you. All right, so I'm gonna mute you again, and then I think my dear Tony is next. So I'm gonna ask to unmute you. You should see a thing on your screen.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Tony. Well, my real name is Anthony, but I rather Tony. And since finding Ali, I've been going from one aspect to the next. I started out with Wicca, then I went to Afro-Caribbean, and I actually, when Ali started taking a break, I dived deeper into my spirituality because I'm in Bronx, I'm in Yonkers, New York, but I'm originally from Jamaica. So when she took a break, I went to my local botanical, and I'm going to do a reading next month that makes me dive deeper and meet some elders and go deeper into it. So, but the book, I like the book, but it's not resonating. Some parts is not resonating, but the one that resonates the most with me is self-love and the changing of diet, cleansing yourself, and how while I was reading the book, when I read that part, even though I know we're not religious, there's one scripture in the Bible that says cleanliness is close to godliness. And I put it in the terms of how Queen Afua said that she needs to cleanse. You have to cleanse everything, your mind, your body, your soul, everything, so you can reach that higher person. So I've been following that method. Like I'm cleansing, I stopped eating meat. I'm trying to give up cheese and milk, but that is very hard. I've never had boundaries in my life. I know I have boundaries where if you're not following what I'm doing, I'm cutting you off. And I'm trying to do meditation, but that's not me. So I use music, like jazz music, to calm my mind. But yeah, the book is okay, but I rather just do those parts than everything else.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. And that's actually a perfect segue into discussing the book itself. So before we actually get into the discussion, if you don't mind indulging me, I'm just going to lead us in a short little prayer, just to kind of get us in the right mindset. So you can close your eyes, bow your head, raise your hands, whatever you'd like to do when prayer is happening. In the name of the Lord and Lady, I give honor and thanks to the spirits of this land, the nature spirits, the birds, the trees, the rivers, the ocean, the spirits of the original people of this land, and to the spirits of the architects of this city and the cities that all of these members are residing in. I give honor and thanks to our collective ancestors, our guides and our guardians. I give honor and thanks to the spirits of each of the people in this meeting today. And I give honor and thanks to the divine for making all of this possible. I call in understanding, I call in clear communication, I call in brotherly, sisterly, and otherly love and light. So mote it be. Thank you, guys. So like Tony was saying, a lot of the parts of the book seem to not really be resonating with a lot of folks, but it's interesting to me to hear what parts did resonate with you and what parts didn't. And so, you know, feel free to unmute yourself whenever you want to speak. You don't have to wait for me to call on you or anything like that. Just chime on in. I just ask that you mute yourself when you're not speaking for background noise to be at a minimum. I know for me personally, one thing that resonated, like Josie was saying, was the beauty care. So I don't know if folks have gotten to kind of the second half of the book and things like that, but one of the sections that I highlighted to go over today was in the section about beauty. And it was very interesting to read the spiritual significance of certain things like head wraps and waist beads and things like that. And some of those things I actually ended up incorporating myself, either because of the book or I had already been doing it. And I was like, oh, okay, now I understand more of like why we do that. I've always, you guys have probably have seen, I always have my head covered most of the time when we meet, definitely whenever I do the live readings and things like that. And that's something that I just kind of picked up from church, covering your head when you're doing anything religious. And for me, it's always just been a protective thing, you know, just protecting my crown chakra from too much energy or from energies that I'm not interested in. If you watch the lives, I usually color coordinate them to like the mood I'm in for that day. And that's kind of my way of like getting energetically in the right space. But it was really interesting for me to read sort of the African background on the head wraps. And I thought what was really interesting was the section about unwrapping your head, you know, like how important it is to actually spend, Queen Afua says, like at least an hour a day with your head not wrapped. And I didn't really think about that because I tend to wrap my head a lot. And I thought it was really interesting that she talks about how keeping your head unwrapped and letting it get some sunlight, letting it get some air can help with your clarity and not having a clouded mind. And I was like, man, I feel personally in my life kind of clouded right now. That's why I'm taking this break from social media and from my shop and stuff. I feel personally kind of fuzzy, like a lot less clear than I normally do. And this week when I went on vacation, I got to, you know, sit on the beach and sit in the sun and let the sun touch my head. And I thought that was, it felt good. And I was like, I think I need to do this more often. I might be covering my head like too much. So I thought that was interesting. And then Another section that resonated with me was about the waist beads, because I actually just recently got waist beads. And this shirt is like the onesie thing, so I can't really show it, but I did show it on my Instagram page, and it has cowrie shells and evil eye beads on it. And the reason I chose to get the waist beads was because I wanted to make a commitment to myself in terms of like my health and my weight and things like that. And I felt like the waist beads was a great way for me to kind of like keep track. Because you know how you can like go on a diet and you feel like you lost weight, or you feel like you lost inches, but you're not really sure, or what have you. I don't really like to weigh myself too much. I have a scale, but I'm not like addicted to like weighing myself. I just want to feel good. I want to fit in my clothes right, stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I like the waist bead idea, because then I can see over time, like how it loosens up or gets tighter or whatever. And I chose one with cowrie shells and evil eyes because of some information that I learned about West Africa. And the evil eye, I took a class with Brother Moses Shanase. He's one of the teachers of Hoodoo Academy. And he taught a 3-day course on the evil eye specifically. And what I learned in that course was the evil eye has a very long history. It's something that shows up in many, many, many cultures for many, many, many years. Interestingly enough, with the same like symbol to protect against it too. So there's definitely something to it. But one of the only places in the ancient world where you don't see the evil eye issue is West Africa. And his theory is that this is because of the prominence of the cowrie shell in West Africa, and the way the cowrie shell defends against negative energies. So because West Africans were using the cowrie shell for money, wearing it as a symbol of protection, they really never had an issue with the evil eye. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So I made sure to cowrie up. So I got my waist beads, got cowries on, and I got an anklet with some cowrie shells. As like a protection, because I feel like when you're doing stuff like on the internet and people are looking at you and stuff, it's very easy to fall victim to the evil eye, because, you know, jealousy or things like that is like, not that I'm saying that like I have anything for people to be jealous of, but just like it's natural for people to say like, oh, I like that, I want that. You know, oh, I like that background, I want that. Or, oh, I like that necklace, I want a crystal like that, or whatever. And that desire that people have of like wanting what you have is basically what the evil eye is, or how it starts. So I was like, you know what? I feel like if I'm going to be in a visible place where people that I don't necessarily know are able to see me, or they're able to see into my home or my tools or things like that, then I should protect myself as much as possible. And I thought that was really interesting that she says that this is something that African women have worn for protection, fertility, and beauty of the womb since ancient Africa. So it kind of made me feel connected to my roots to get my waist beads. So that definitely resonated with me, as did the section on natural hair, because I decided to go natural a few years ago. And oh my goodness, the weaves, the wigs, it was too much. It was too much. Being in the salon, I found like my like financial notes from like 2012, because like I was going through some like an old book about money, and I was like looking at my notes, and I was looking at how I was tracking all my hair appointments, and like, oh, every 2 weeks I gotta go. And I was like, oh, thank you, Spirit, for liberating me from that, because not only the money, but like the time of always being in the salon, being around all these people that don't care nothing about you, just want your money. Like, you know, it was like in my neighborhood, the hair salons, the nail salons, none of them are owned by Black people. None of them are owned by Black people. It's all Asians and Latinos, and, you know, shout out to them. That's great for them and everything. But, I knew being in there that, you know, they're doing your hair while talking about you in another language. You walk into the nail salon and they don't even acknowledge you, say hello, what are you here for? Nothing. You know, you basically got to walk in and yell, hello, do my nails. Like, it's just not a good energy. So I definitely resonated with the symbolism of going natural and like the power in, you know, the power in like doing my own hair again. Like, I had to learn how to do my hair because I've been getting like perms and stuff since I was like 12. So I literally just like did not even know how to like detangle my hair or like what to do with it. So that was definitely empowering for me. So it was cool to read about it in the book and get a better understanding of, you know, the history and the attachment or connection to the 70s and the civil rights movement and, you know, everything like that. So I feel like that was very powerful. Those, I agree with you, Josie. I feel like the beauty section was like the thing that I resonated with the most in the second half. How about y'all?
You said something about the about natural hair, and what came to me was that that when you don't appreciate or you do your natural hair yourself, it's like you get so caught up with what everybody thinks of you. So instead of vibrating high, you're vibrating low. So that you're thinking of, oh, what did this person think of me? Is my lace wig laid? Am I looking good? No, you're not thinking high of yourself. So you're just always vibrating in that sulky, low vibrational thing. That's one of the reasons why I grew back my hair, because I used to cut it short and bleach it in and do it in different colors and everything. And then when I started my journey, I got the answer that I need to grow back my hair. And from then I've been doing my hair, and surprisingly, I get more compliments with my hair natural and in afros and stuff than actually when I have in the hair. People are like, oh my God, your hair is beautiful. You look so beautiful. And I'm like, this is so weird. I think I look regular, but people like it like this than when I put in the braids.
Yeah. I feel that. Yes, I do. And like, I used to be so worried, like, you know, oh my gosh, is my wig slipping? Like, oh, can you see a track? Can you, like, I used to be so concerned about what other people were thinking about my hair. And like, you know, it was like a whole situation. Like, if my hair wasn't done, then that might mean I couldn't go somewhere. You know what I mean? Or like I had to, you know, run to the salon before I went, or I would like not feel good, like just not feel like I looked good, even if other people said, oh, you look good or you look fine or whatever. I would feel bad. And now, child, this thing be raggedy. And I'm just like, and that's how it grows out of my head. Like, that's how it is. And I agree with you. I feel like people, when I just have it in a messy twist, you know, I haven't done anything with it, it needs to be washed, I think I look crazy. And people are like, oh, I like what you're doing with your hair. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, I definitely vibrated on that. Looking through at some of my notes. Now, I know that you guys, you know, people were saying that they kind of lost interest on the book, or that it wasn't really vibrating with them as they were getting deeper into stuff. What are some of the things that people found were like not connecting, that you were like not connecting to? I know Josie was not going to do no enemas. I know that wasn't happening. We already talked about that. Yes, I'm right with you, girl. Don't worry. I wasn't doing that either. I tell you what, that was not for me. But I'm trying to see if there were some parts that I felt like I really couldn't get with. But for those of you who said that you weren't really vibing with it or continuing with it, what were some of the things that maybe caused you to lose interest, or that you felt weren't really relevant to you? Maybe it's the structure itself, like the weekly gateways and stuff like that.
I tell you a part that I did like
Mhm.
outside of the beauty part, the part where she talked about the pendulum, because I wanted to learn how to use the pendulum,
Oh,
and I read that over and over again. And not only did I read it over and over again, I made a pendulum board similar to the one she had,
yeah.
and I have an obsidian that I have cleansed and everything, and I've been doing that a lot lately. And the answers that I've been getting are yes and no, and I'm like yes. So I
Yeah.
really like the pendulum part.
Do you know what page that is on?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's 275. Wait a minute, 27. I can't see. Hold on one moment. 273.
273.
Mm-hmm. And it's down at the
Oh,
bottom on the
yeah.
right hand side. It says the pendulum.
Okay, I was like, why did I think I skipped over this section. Why didn't I
Mm-hmm.
read this section?
I
Okay,
highlighted that whole section.
I'm gonna do this because I work with the pendulum and I do, I've done readings with my pendulum all the time, but I've always done it from just like a, just divination perspective,
Right.
not with any understanding of like its African history. So I need to read this section. Okay, thank you. And this has been working well for you, you said.
Yes, it's been working quite well.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it's working so well, it's kind of scary. Like,
okay. All right. Yeah, I think I skipped over this whole section. I wonder why. I gotta go back. Oh no, I know what it is. I haven't gotten to it.
So there's one part in it that really, really resonated with me, and this is going to get like a little bit TMI. Since I had a child, I've had problems with my pH level, like horrible problems with my pH level. Even before my child, I had a lot of like I have an overgrowth of like yeast in my body, and I keep going to the doctor and they keep fixing it and it keeps coming back. And I reached a part where they said you should do a steam. And at first I looked it up and it was like, oh no, don't do the steam. It changes this and it changes that. And like I asked my ancestors, what do you think? And like do it. And I did it. And I did it twice. And for the first time in years, I haven't had any problem. I started doing it regularly, and I had a little problem like a week back, and I did it again, no problems. And this is better than going to the doctor. I used to hate going to the OB, not OB, the GYN, and sit there for them to give me the same trickle, whatever. And I did the same thing, and it happens again and again and again. And that's the only thing that I really like, that you can use different stuff in your kitchen. You can buy your own stuff and you do it. You sit there, you listen to your music. You could be texting, but just keeping like a good space of mind. And let me tell you, works like a charm.
Yes, I know it. Girl, listen, yoni steaming, I started doing it last year and it was such a powerful experience. The first time I did it on a full moon for the first time. And I cried the first time I did it because it wasn't like to clear up anything. It was just like for a self-care thing, just to like connect. It looks like from all the she, her, hers, everybody in here identifies as a woman. So having a womb, I don't have to tell you guys how much trauma, how much pain, how much shame, sadness. Like when I think about my womb and I think about like my vagina, I think about that part of my body, like it's not a lot of good thoughts. I got to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of good stuff. Like there's been some, there's been some good sex and there's been some good physical pleasure and stuff like that. But other than that, it's not really a lot of good stuff. It's childhood trauma and it's mistakes, picking the wrong partners, toxic partners, and going to doctors and having them poke, prod, and not give a damn about you really, but, you know, just treat you like a piece of meat on the table. And it, you know, you don't have that. It's not often that you just give love and attention to that area. So for me, just taking like 30 minutes out of my day and just focusing there was like, it like opened up the floodwaters of tears. I was just like, wow, I'm 35. I've never done this for myself. I've never done this. So it was so powerful. I went and bought a steam seat on Etsy, like a whole wooden box thing, because I was like, I'm going to be doing this regularly. So I need to have like a thing so that it can be easier than me and this pot in the bathtub. So I went and got a steam seat. So I definitely feel you on that. It's so effective and just healing in so many ways, physically healing, but also like spiritually healing, for sure. And for people who haven't gotten to the section, Tony, do you recall what section she talked about it in? So people have page numbers.
I didn't really write it down because I work 6 days a week. So I'm on the bus, I'm just reading, and then I'm like, oh, here is one part, and it's on my phone. I don't have the physical book as it.
Okay, no problem. If I see it, I'll flag it, I'll highlight it. Has anybody else explored the yoni steaming or plan to, or thinking about it?
I do plan on exploring your, I actually have yours.
Okay.
And the one that I got from you is for the bacteria.
Yeah.
Because if they give me some more freaking medication, I'm going to choke them. I'm like, Slim, I ain't even doing that.
Right.
It's been 10 years.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to go your way. And the next time I go to the doctor, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Use it for, you know, like a few times. What did Tony said she had to do it a couple times, like, you know, a few times, and then go get it checked out and see, you know, let them tell you if it made like a difference.
Because I'm doing mine next week while he's in school, because I still work from home. Okay. So I'm actually taking a stay home day.
Yay.
I'm doing everything.
A staycation.
Yes. And it's going to be for 8 hours while he's in school.
Nice. You let him know, ain't no calling home sick, ain't no, I don't feel well, mommy, come get me. You on your own today. Please
understand, I will turn my phone off. I don't know him. You better call Josie. I don't know you.
That's okay. He can call me.
Okay, good. Josie, you on deck that day, okay? Irene needs that day.
But the one thing that I did notice this early on in the book is that when we was talking about the Maya hour, the 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and you was trying to wake up, at that moment, I told y'all that I was waking up on a normal.
Right.
Once we discussed it and went through the whole thing, I don't wake up no more.
Really?
I wake up, it's going to be by alarm. It's going to be something happen out in the street, but I do not wake up. And it's like, since my health has been declining and I can't go to the gym no more, I don't wake up. I wake up 5 minutes before 6 o'clock to sign in and go to work.
Wow.
Well, what was that? I wasn't here for the last one, so I'm not sure what you guys.
No, the last time we had the conversation about this book, we was talking about the Mayat hour, which is like from 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That was natural for me to do it. I used to do like a 10-minute meditation, get ready, and go to the gym. Because if I don't go to the gym in the morning, it ain't happening. So it's like now I haven't been, probably about 3 days after we had that, I haven't been to the gym since.
Wow.
I haven't been to the gym. I haven't woken up because one ain't no alarm clock gonna wake me up to go to the gym. You can touch. No. Mm-hmm. So it has to be a natural thing. And I haven't been exercising because I don't go to the gym. I literally on a normal wakes up 5 minutes before 6 o'clock before I have to go to work. So I'm like, come on now. I used to enjoy when I wake up, look out at the sky and see the clouds, see how the weather's going to be. Am I going to go to the gym or am I going to go walk? And then I come back in and start my day. I'm groggy about between 6 and 7:30, everybody at my job online, no, don't talk to me, because I'm not peaceful. Coffee ain't gonna make it happen. So that's the one big change. Once I read it in a book, it went away.
That is so
Because
interesting.
it felt like it was story time for me. When I look out at the clouds, it felt like it was story time. It was peaceful. And I was waking up, doing my meditation, sitting on the floor, looking out the window, and I was good. But then you tell me a story about I supposed to wake up and do a prayer, and it's that hard-headed child in me. If you tell me I'm supposed to do something, I'm not going to do it.
Wow, that's interesting. But like, so do you miss it though? Do you miss getting up like at your early time?
I miss it.
So
I miss the gym.
Maybe now that we're moving on from this book and we're moving on to the next one, maybe it'll come back because it won't feel like it's pressure to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That might work. That might work. Because when I tell you I'm a hard-headed child, that is through and through. Josie have done a business with me. And when they tell me I have to do something, I won't do it.
Wow.
And once the month is over with, I'm ready to go do it.
Wow.
And make
You should try to use that to your advantage. Like stuff you want, like stuff you don't want to do, have somebody tell you to do it. That might be like the key right there. Like have somebody tell you like, oh, you gotta eat cheese. Watch, cheese will just disappear out of your house. You'll be like, no, no more. You might be able to use that to your advantage.
It might.
A little trick or something like that. You know, play a little trick on yourself.
We'll try.
But yeah, the waking up early thing was something I was really trying to do. And I'm not going to say I'm not trying to do it anymore, but I kind of like stopped trying to take it so seriously because I was just quote unquote failing. And it was like, the point of the whole book is to be uplifting yourself, increasing your vibration. So if there's something about it that's making you feel like, you know, you're failing or you're not doing what you're quote unquote supposed to be doing or whatever, then that's like counterproductive. So I just told myself not to stress it so much. I would like to try to wake up at that time of day because I do feel like it feels really good to be up when the sun comes up and start your day. Like, I just feel like that's energizing. But I'm realizing that the key for me is what I do the night before, you know, like getting to bed at a certain time and being in like not too tired and stuff. And so I'm praying that September, as I take this time away and not, you know, on in my shop and everything like that, that will be, I basically want to try to figure out like, what's my natural clock? You know what I mean? Like, what is my natural clock? Because it's all over the place. And I want to get up at like the same time every day. This past week during vacation, I got up at like 8, 9 o'clock. And I was really proud of myself. I did like 30 minutes of yoga every morning for the vacation. I was like, hey, go me, 7 days in a row. That's like my longest stretch, you know? And even if it was just like 5 minutes to like meditate or whatever, I just made sure I took the mat out and got on the mat every morning. And I'm gonna try to keep that up and then see if that leads me to getting up a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? But not stressing it. But yeah, I think I understand what she's saying. I do relate to that. I do feel like the hours of 4 to 6, they are really powerful. And I do feel like they're very, you know, they're very peaceful. You know, everybody is still asleep. You get your like, you know, I have like loud neighbors and they don't get up until like 11. So like having the morning is like basically the best time to find like peace. So I do want to try to get up that early, but that has been like a struggle for me. Has anybody been looking at the yoga poses? Any of the physical poses? And has anybody tried any of those? I didn't go through like her specific moves just because usually when I do my yoga, I watch these videos that I have online that I have like a subscription to, and they pretty much do a lot of these poses. But I was looking through it when I was preparing for the notes, and I was like, okay, you know what? Some of these poses though are really specific to the womb. Like laying with your legs in butterfly with your hands like this over your womb and things like that. I want to incorporate some of those poses into what I already do, to like stretch the hip area and get energy flowing like through the pelvis and stuff like that.
I didn't really look at that because I can't do, I have come to terms, you know, I realized that still meditation is, I can't do still meditation. I can't do it because I don't know, my mind will never get quiet. However, music and walking, like active, like, I don't know what you call it, when you move, when you listen to stuff, not like yoga, it works better for me. So when I saw that, I'm like, nope. Those wouldn't cross it.
Yeah, no, I know. Have you ever tried japa meditation? Japa meditation is, it's a Hindu practice, but it is meditation chanting a mantra. So like Om, or one of the mantras for the different chakras like Ham or Yam. So I can't do still meditation either. Like just sit there. That was the hardest part of the gateways for me, trying to do the whole gateway practice. The color visualization where you're just still, that part was the hardest for me. Japa meditation is much better for me. It's easier for me to sit and chant something over and over again than it is to just like be quiet. Because if I'm just still and quiet, then I just start thinking about the groceries and I gotta mop the floors and what time does my husband get home, and you know, I'm just thinking about everything. But if I chant a mantra, that kind of keeps me oriented a little bit better. So after like the third week, I stopped trying to do the color visualization, and I just kind of made my own like japa meditation with the affirmations that she has listed. I found that helpful. But also meditation is a really big part of my practice, and I really like the way that that Hindu mysticism approaches meditation, because the god that gives meditation in the Hindu pantheon is Shiva, and he's the lord of the dance. So the way that he meditates is with dance. So the whole like sitting still in lotus position, like that's a very Americanized like way of meditation. Meditation in the Hindu pantheon is chanting, it's dancing, it's swaying back and forth and all of that. So meditation is something that is supposed to, like the purpose of it, as I understand it, is for you to block out the distracting thoughts of your day and to just take a moment to kind of reset your mind, pause your mind. So anything that does that, whether it's music, dance, painting, writing in a journal, scribbling, all of these things count as meditation, as I've been taught. So I feel you on that. The hardest type of meditation for me is to just sit there and focus on my breath. Because I'm like 3 breaths in, I'm like, okay, I got to get up because I have stuff to do. So yeah, I feel you there. I feel you there. Did anybody see the quiz? I tried to leave a discussion post about the quiz, but I was having so many like technical difficulties when I was in Charleston, because my mom doesn't have like the best internet and stuff, and I didn't have my computer with me. So I don't think it posted, but I did want to draw everybody's attention to page 64. It's more in the beginning of the book, but we didn't talk about it last time. And it's a womb wellness profile. So it looks like that on page 64. It's several pages. And it's basically a quiz about your womb wellness. And I haven't done it yet because I kind of fell off of my gateways, but I'm going to get back on it. And I'm going to do this The idea is to go through it, like, I guess around your menstrual cycle, or if you don't have one, just I guess at a certain point in the a point in the month, and kind of checking off like what your womb health is at that point, and then checking back in every week or every couple of weeks to see how it's progressed or how it's changed. So I think this would definitely be helpful, especially for folks who are having yeast infections or vaginal issues or anything like that, to actually track and see, how it improves over time with the different practices, whether you're steaming or cutting things out of your diet, or, whatever you're doing. If you want to keep track of how your womb is actually responding to what you're doing, this is like a quiz where you can keep track of it. I thought that was helpful. So you're trying to have, the lower the number, the better, basically. So you want to, wherever you start, you're trying to get a smaller number with each week. So we're moving on to another book, starting with September. You guys voted on 365 Days of Hoodoo. So we're going to be reading that. Yeah, got your copy? Hey. So we're going to be reading that next. But I do want to, oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I got my copy. Yay. And I've been reading it, and I'm kind of like in the middle of it. So I try to read a chapter every day. Nice. So it's good. It's pretty good.
Yes. Okay. Everybody's ready. Awesome. So yeah, I had gotten the book a while ago, and I just never really got into it because I ended up taking that class, that hoodoo course that I took. And I felt like, okay, I have this course, so I don't really need to bother with the book. And I guess the way it's set up is to do like something every day. So it kind of just sat on my shelf for a while. So I'm excited now to like actually get into it, especially after having taken a class on hoodoo. I feel like that'll make me kind of understand more like what might be for me and what, practices maybe I don't need and things like that. So we'll be starting that book for September. But I encourage everybody to continue on with the recommendations in this program, whether you do the wellness profile and you follow up with every few weeks, or you do steaming or whatever. For September, I'm planning on doing a full detox, y'all. Full 30-day detox for the whole month. I've never done this before. I'm detoxing from the social media. That's why I made that post, for everybody to know, like, y'all might not see me as much on social media. I don't know for how long, but I'm planning for the month of September. But I'm gonna try to go. And where's Mariah so she can yell at me? I'm gonna try to go full vegan. Look, Irene. Ah!
Wait, that's so strange, because I had a discussion with not really a discussion, but I had a back and forth with my ancestors, and they said the same thing. Give up everything. I'm like, I can't give up cheese. I can't do that. They're like, give it up. I'm like, I'm not doing it. So since then, I've been having so many stomach problems, and they keep saying, give it up, give it up. So I don't know, but I wish you luck. I hope you can do.
Thank you, girl. Listen, you better pay attention, because if they're giving you stomach problems, you're going to be in the bathroom all doubled over. They're going to be like, how long is it going to take you to listen to us?
I gave up beef and pork for August. I am counting down to Wednesday. I have a date with a Baconzilla. And y'all saying everything? Not every, but
everything. Yes, that's what they've been
like telling me to give up air.
Yo, I don't know. I didn't say I was going to survive. I said that's the plan. I didn't say nothing about doing well. I said this is the plan. For September, they just keep pointing me to doing it all the way. Because, I've already cut out a lot of things, and I don't really eat meat anymore. But this was my vacation this past week. So, you know, I had it all. Okay. I had Queen Afua. I would be in timeout because I had all the bottom feeders. I had my clams. I had my scrimps. The only thing I didn't have was oysters, but I had clams. I had scrimps. Okay. I had cheese on everything. Yes. I was like, I'm going to enjoy myself. I even drank, and I haven't drank. And like, y'all know I was a bartender for 15 years. So I was drinking very heavily for a long time. So one of the first things they took from me was alcohol. So I really haven't been drinking like that. I've probably had 2 beers all of 2021 at a family gathering. And that was, and I was like, why did I do that afterwards? Because I felt not great. You know what I mean? But no, I have my pina coladas. Yes, I enjoyed myself this week. I was like, I'm gonna let myself just do it because for September, I'm gonna really buckle down, and it's really gonna be no weed, no alcohol. Yes, Josie's eyebrows almost flew off. Yes, no smoking, no drinking, 100% vegan. I'm getting an alarm clock so I can leave my phone out of the room at night, so I'm not sitting there on the shade room scrolling, laughing my ass off at Boozy. Like, I need to detox. You know how many crate challenge videos I watched this past week? Yo.
I can't give up wine when you have a 2-year-old boy. I can't do it. I cannot. Yeah. So you can do that. I wish you luck.
Parents get a pass for sure. Parents get a pass.
What about your husband? Is he going to do this with you? What about cooking for him?
Well, the good news for him is he went vegetarian actually before I did, but he's not fully vegan. He loves his cheese. So I said, look, for September, you know, I'm only going to be buying, luckily, I could not have done this like 10 years ago, but nowadays they have so many like replacements or whatever. You know, we had burgers all week, but they were Beyond Burgers, you know, the Beyond Meat. So, and I had, I made a salad and I put feta cheese. It was vegan feta cheese. It actually tastes pretty good. It's actually creamier than regular feta cheese. I was surprised. It gets creamy. You know how feta is like crumbly? It actually was like creamy in the salad. It like mixed with the dressing. It was actually really good. So I was like, okay, I can mess with that. That'll be a good replacement. So he knows I'm only going to be buying like vegan, like fake meat, fake cheese, you know, the vegan versions of everything. And I told him, if he can buy whatever he wants, but if you cook for me, just remember that I'm trying to do the vegan thing. So if you cook, because we take turns, you know, whoever's in the mood to cook. So when you cook, you either gotta put some to the side for me before you put the cheese on it, or you just gotta use the vegan cheese or whatever. So he's supportive. I don't know if he's gonna try to do it with me. You know, he likes to have his little cocktail in the evening or whatever. So, you know, I don't know if he's gonna do that. He doesn't smoke as much, so he doesn't care. He smokes when I smoke, and then if I don't, he's like, I don't care, whatever. You don't have to get nothing for me. So that part he'll be fine with, but yeah, I don't know if he's gonna give up his nightcap for me, but that's okay. This is my spiritual journey. This is what I feel like Spirit is telling me to do for myself. So, you know, he could ride the train or take another one. Shonda, I think you're talking, but we can't hear you, babe.
Got it muted. I think you'll be good because I think like for me and maybe starting last year, I just had an overwhelming feel of less meat. It's just something that just hit me. And even now, my husband's a meat eater. He will never give it up. He's a carnivore. So he will cook it, but I may eat maybe even half of whatever he puts on my plate. I can't eat it all. And that's just something that my body is like, nope, you don't need this. And so I have pulled away from it a lot. I'm not missing anything because I'm making up for it in other ways. but I'm not missing the meat at all.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like when, like, I definitely indulged on vacation, but it wasn't like, I didn't have this feeling of like, oh my God, I miss this so much. Like I gotta have it or whatever, you know what I mean? I was just sort of like, since I'm gonna be doing a full detox, let me go ahead and enjoy it now. Let me get it out of my system now. And that way I won't feel like I really need it in September. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like I was dying to be like, oh, I gotta have some shrimp. I haven't had shrimp in a long time or whatever. It was just kind of like, okay, you know, I'm here. It's good. It's fried. It's seasoned. You know, on that we went to Martha's Vineyard, and where we usually eat, it's all Jamaicans in the kitchen. So you know it's good. So I had to, you know what I mean?
Jackfruit. Jackfruit will taste like any meat.
I have wanted to try the jackfruit, but it makes me a little nervous. I'm like, how you cook that?
You buy it and then like you could get it like the processed way, but you can get it at the like any corner. Hold on, any corner like, well, the Korean places like the little in the Bronx, and then what you do is they will give you, and they're like seeds in it. The seeds are very
in a bag with seasoned already.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what do I do?
No, I don't trust that. So you buy the fresh one that they already take it out of the green, because it's a big green thing. They take it out of the skin, but the seeds might probably be in there. All they do is take out the seeds. When you get it, it looks like a pea. But let me tell you something. You can curry that. You can cook it. You can do it anyway, and it tastes like meat. I hate jackfruit. I don't like jackfruit. And this, because I'm Jamaican, one of my cousins, he did it up curry style, and I'm like, whoa, you cook meat? I don't eat meat. He's like, no, this is jackfruit. Rastaman don't eat meat. I'm like, yo, this tastes good.
Okay, I definitely have to try that then, because I see it in the supermarket, but I'm like, I don't really know what to do with you, so I just get tempeh or tofu because I feel like more comfortable with that. But I've been wanting to try it because everybody says like you can make like pulled pork with it, you can make like beef stew with it, like you can, you know, remake a lot of dishes. Because I used to, my beef stew, not to brag, but I throw down on the beef stew, and that's something that I do miss. I have not made a beef stew in a while, so a replacement would be awesome. Thank you for that. Jackfruits. I'm gonna look into it.
Years ago, somebody told me that they had already processed jackfruit little dinners at Trader Joe's. I never did it because I don't go to Trader Joe's that often.
Right.
But I have to, I want to try that because I seen the jackfruit, the actual big. I was like, I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Years ago in the hood,
that's why I'm like,
I saw it, and it was literally. I went to the Giant around the corner in the hood, and literally it was people around it trying to figure out what it was. It was like you would have thought it was doing something. It was just sitting there.
Right.
And it was like, you touch it. No, you touch it. We ain't never seen that.
Yeah, I got to get familiar with that. I do know in like the vegan section of the supermarket, they have like the packets. I might start there just because it's already like ready for you, just to get comfortable with like the texture, see what it's like, and then try to, you know, make it for real. Thank you. That'll help. Jackfruit. Let me see. There were some other things that I had highlighted just to see if you guys, I don't know if you guys got to Sacred Relationships, 7-day transformative work on sacred relationships, but I highlighted where she said the most important relationship on earth is your relationship with self. The extent to which you heal yourself is the extent to which you will be able to heal all of your relationships. And I just thought that was really powerful. She kind of goes through like a 1 week kind of mini program on healing your relationships. And step 1 is to list all your relationships. And this is on page 314. Page 314. It's a part of Gateway 7. If you're doing the gateways. But she starts off with first listing all of your relationships, then practicing forgiveness of self, processing old hurts from unhealed relationships, perform 7-day prayer work for sacred relationships, consciously release old relationship patterns through purification rites, journal work, prayer work, and affirmations. Within the next 7 days, write a thank you letter to all those in your life with whom you are or have been in sacred relationships. Send love, light, and forgiveness to those you're sending letters to or who are on your relationship list. Ast, the Egyptian deity Ast, is about nurturing the self, yourself first. Self-worth, self-love must be in place within you in order to establish any divine relationship. And that just stood out to me just because, you know, I have been thinking a lot about like the relationships in my life and like certain friends and even family members and stuff like that, and kind of reevaluating like what it means for someone to be my friend or be a family member or things like that. And I was kind of thinking about what Shonda said when you were talking. I thought about this section about how becoming spiritual often leads to like losing people and having to like reevaluate your relationships. And I thought this was kind of a good breakdown on how to just kind of look at all of your relationships and kind of put them to the test, basically, you know, kind of run them through like whether or not they're like really healthy and whether like they're worth saving or worth keeping around, or whether or not it's better to like let them go. And so I haven't done it yet, but one of the things that I want to do as I continue on with some of the practices is I want to do the 7-day thing and kind of make a list of all my relationships and kind of go through them and just make sure that, you know, because I have some friends that like I met as coworkers and I've just had them in my life for a while. So they're there because I've had them for so long, but it's like, well, what do these relationships really do for me? Do they really elevate me? Do they really support my journey? You know, are they the type of friend that's going to be like, yes, do your detox? Or are they going to be like, girl, come on, let's go out. Like, oh, come on, you know, you could cheat. Like, are they going to be supportive? So I just wanted to draw your attention to that. Whether you're, you know, happy with your relationships or unhappy with your relationships, I think it's good to check in on them from time to time and just make sure that they're in alignment, like with where you're at in your life right now. That's
what page is it? Let me write down. What page is it?
314.
Why I ask is because so I've started a routine. There's this guy on YouTube. I don't know his name, but he always says let's sit and sip tea or something like that. He has locks and he's always talking about self-love and whatever.
Oh, his locks are like shoulder length.
Yes, that guy.
I know who you're talking about. His YouTube keeps recommending him, and I have not watched his videos yet. It looks so peaceful.
It is, and he makes you think. He's Jamaican too, and he makes you think. And that's how I have made boundaries with myself, because I started asking myself, am I having these relationships because I see? I'm sorry about that. My son is hitting stuff. Am I having relationships because I see what I could be in people, like the traits that they have? Or am I having relationships because they are an important aspect of my life? And what I mean by that is that I used to do everything in relationships so people could like me.
Yeah.
And I never know myself. Like I did not know myself.
Irene's got him up on the screen. What's his name?
Yes. What's his name? Yes. And let me tell you, when you listen to him.
Oh, what was that?
Hens.
Yes.
Something like that. I'm gonna type it in.
Type it in, please. Thank you.
Like when you listen to him, like I recommend everyone, even if you don't like him, listen to him like one morning per week. And it makes you really think about like self-love and your anxiety and all those. And it's like just 10 minutes of him talking. it just makes you think about so many things, and it makes you think about yourself. And he tells you what is it to have relationships when you can't love yourself. He said it, and that was so profound to me that this was like weeks ago, up to now, like I realized that if I can't love myself, I can't have relationships. Right. So I recommend people to look at. I didn't even know that was in the book. That's how much I really didn't read the book because it didn't resonate with me.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna check him out because he keeps popping up on my screen, and I'm always like, that brother looks so good. Like everything looks so relaxed in his thing. I gotta check him out. Yeah, so I will watch those videos, and also like I want to do this. I want to make a list of my relationships, and I want to write a thank you letter to the people in my life. And if I can't come up with something to say to somebody, you know, in terms of what they do for me, that might be a sign that it's time to snippity snip, peace, love, and light, and go on about your business. Because everybody that's in your life, I think you should be able to write not even a long letter, but just a little something saying, thank you, this is what you do for me in my life, or this is how you bless me by being in my life. And if you can't come up with anything, then that I think is maybe a good sign that somebody's not really like adding to your life, you know, like they're just there. So thank you for that recommendation. I'm gonna check them out. All right. So we're getting close to our wrap up time. If there's anything else that anybody wants to share, whether it is about the book or about their plans, I can tell you I am gonna continue on with some parts of the book because I fell off after Gateway 2. And I'm going to get back on it, not doing it for the whole week, but like how I was doing one day a week that I set aside for this. I am going to get back on that because I do want to go through all of the gateways, because like, I can't lie, even though I haven't taken it super, super seriously, I see a benefit of having just like familiarized myself with some of these things. And if nothing else, it's been a real blessing, I guess I would say, just to spend time every week just thinking about my own health, you know, like my spiritual health, my physical health, my womb health, because I think as womb holders, like, we have a whole different bag of burdens and responsibilities and trials and tribulations that we go through that if you don't have a womb, you just cannot ever experience. You just can never know. And that's no offense to anybody who's trans or who identifies as a woman, but I feel like there is a big difference between having a womb and not. Even just the physical act of bleeding every month and the pain and the things that we go through, even just that alone is something that if you don't have a womb, you just could never even begin to understand. And I feel like so much negative attention has been put on our wombs and on women in general. We bear the brunt of all the burdens of this world. And it's like, it's on us to elevate the world. I really believe that. Like, I really believe that, like, as women heal as a collective, the vibration of the world is rising, and the vibration of men, those who don't have wombs, rises because of us. And that might be kind of like maybe old school or outdated kind of thinking or whatever, but I really believe that women are, like, that's one of the reasons why Christianity doesn't rock with me. Like, where you see woman coming from man's rib, ever, whenever, when has that ever happened? But every day, man comes from our womb. Every day. So I don't know how we let them play that little switcheroo on us, or who fell for that nonsense, but I don't buy it for a second. that that's how creation started. I believe that creation came from a feminine energy. I believe that in the Bible, when it says that God was above the nothingness, because that's how they describe it in Genesis, there was something there when God created everything, and it was the nothingness, that deep nothingness. That's feminine energy to me. The ocean, the cosmos, anything deep, dark, that's feminine energy. So to me, the Bible says we were there first. So how we could have come after Adam, that doesn't follow. That don't make a lot of sense to me. So I truly believe that because all of mankind comes from us, the healthier and high vibrational we are, the healthier and more high vibrational men are, the world is, everything. And I feel like as we take better care of ourselves, heal our trauma, eat better, take care of ourselves, sleep, love ourselves, put ourselves first, prioritize ourselves. It may seem selfish to some, but I believe that doing that is actually going to help everybody, especially Black women, because if Africa is the seat of creation, then that means we all came from Black women, Black wombs. So to me, our health is key to the health of the rest of the world, honestly. So I'm going to continue on because I feel like it is imperative for all Black women to work on healing and raising their vibrations, because ain't nobody going to do it for us. Right? We keep saying protect Black women. We couldn't even protect Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, so we gonna have to do it for ourselves. We're gonna have to do it for ourselves. We're gonna have to heal ourselves, face our traumas ourselves, elevate ourselves. And shout out to Queen Afua. This book, while it may not resonate with everybody, I just appreciate that she took the time to write it, and that she has spent her whole life, at least the last 20, 30 years of it, dedicated to helping Black women heal themselves, heal their wombs, love themselves. This is how she does it. It doesn't have to be how you do it. Do it the way that works for you. But I appreciate that she has been championing that message to the world, that the key to the future of the world is the health and the healing of Black wombs. So I pray that that's what everybody takes away from the book, because I think that's the most important part. All right. So I'll let anybody chime in if there are any parting words that they want to share, if they plan on continuing on with the book, coming back to it, putting it to the side for now, or if there's anything that they would like to share with the group before I move us into a closing prayer.
I'm going to go back and read the relationship part, especially the part about loving yourself. I skipped over the relationship part because I was mad with Ignat. So I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing about no relationship. But look at Irene. So I'm going to go back and read that part.
Yeah. I feel you there. For sure.
So I'm gonna go back through it. I'm gonna go with the open mind and try to be friendly with her. And I think I'm gonna do. I think you said it the first time we met. Pull what you feel out of it. So I'm gonna get a notebook just for this.
Yes.
And make my own ritual.
Yes.
From pulling from this. And just the lessons. And I definitely have to do the self-love part. Definitely. That's the number one relationship that I have to definitely improve on.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to read it over because I'm going to be honest. I was distracted because of somebody I was speaking to at the time. I was distracted and I wasn't paying much attention. But I do want to develop like a routine. So I think this book does do that. So I'm going to go over it back. I think I need a physical book. I don't think I can read electronically. It's messing with me.
I got a question for you. In this group, you my sis, right?
Yeah.
Send me your email address and I would gift you the book.
Oh, please. Thank you. I would love that.
Send me your email address. All things on Irene, DM me. I will send you the book. Don't believe me? Ask you. But you better do it because I'm also the irritating sister.
No, I'm going to do it now. I'm sending my email address.
No, send me your address so I can send it to you via I do it, add it to my my Amazon order tonight.
Okay, I'm sending it now.
And I'll send it to you. Okay?
Thank you, Irene.
Oh, thank you so much.
But
oh my God,
don't do it.
I just sent it in the group. I just sent it in the group.
Okay,
let me tell you something, Ali. This is nothing related to the book, but since I've been following you from pandemic times, like, well, still in the pandemic time, but I mean like the early pandemic time. And then when you took your first break, I was so upset with you. I'm like, this is crazy. But that time I was very shaky with everything. Like, it was reaching the part where spirit was pushing me to be a hermit. And I wasn't used to that at first. And since I've been following you and it's like you're my idol, but like my sister too, and I've been following it. And let me tell you something. You have opened my eyes to know what I want from. I learned it myself, but like just seeing how you do it, it just allow me. It inspire me. And then how we are such a close-knit family. Like, I would run. I was on the road and I had the alarm for 6:30. I'm running home because I have to reach here for 7 o'clock because I like meeting with you guys so much.
Me too. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I'm just, I want to be there for people. So I feel like I have to listen when they're telling me to take time away and stuff like that, because I can't let myself burn out. And my hope is not to like be anybody's teacher or anything, but just to be like, and I guess an example, just to be like, this is how I figured it out. And if I share it with people, then you might be able to figure out your own way. But sometimes it's just good to see people doing things their own way. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us only have like books and videos to learn from. We don't necessarily have elders or teachers or things like that when it comes to spirituality or magical practice. And it can be really easy to be like, okay, well, this book says this, so I have to do it this way, or I have to do this that way. And my hope is that I can just show people through my actions that a spiritual path is unique. There should be as many spiritual paths as there are people on the planet. Religion is another thing, but spirituality is totally individual. And and I'm glad that you feel that. I just want people to feel that they can see what another person is doing and maybe be inspired, but that is totally okay to do things their own way. For those of you who are going back over the book, if you didn't get to tune in or watch the live Q&A that I did at the beginning of July when we first started the book, we had like a whole 2.5 hour long Q&A. The video is available to seeker level people on the YouTube channel. So you can watch that, because we basically spent that whole time just talking about how we were going to set up our altars in our own way. So I kind of talk about what the program says, but we spend most of the time talking about how, like, what things I was picking, what things made sense to me, and everybody in the chat was talking about what things made sense to them, what things they weren't going to do. So that video might be helpful if you're going back and you're feeling like, man, I really gotta do it the way the book says. in that live, we talk about, you know, a bunch of different ways in which you can make it your own. Because at the end of the day, the point of why Queen Afua wrote this book was to help Black women heal themselves from their womb out. And how you do that is personal to you. This is her recommendation for how to do it, but it's a recommendation of how to do it and information on why she recommends these things. So I would take those things and do it. Shonda is saying bye. Thank you so much, Shonda. Yes, please continue on with it, even though the 2 months has passed. This book was not intended to be finished in 2 months. The way it's broken down, you're supposed to do a gateway every week. And if you did that, it would be like 15 weeks. So it's definitely something that's meant to like live with you and evolve with you. So please feel free to do it. And you have this community of other womb holders that you can chat with in our sessions to, you know, help you through it if you need any help. So I know I'll be seeing some of you guys tomorrow at the support group meeting. So before we head out, I'm just gonna lead us through a quick little closing prayer. If you don't mind, if you need to peace out, that's okay. And I give thanks to our guides, our guardians, our ancestors, angels, and spirits for being with us in this session, helping us to pull out from this book the topics, the tips, the information that we each need in order to heal ourselves as Black women, heal ourselves as womb holders. I give thanks to Queen Afua for writing this book, for her elders and her teachers that taught her these African practices. And I give honor and thanks to our ancestors who are rooting for us and encouraging us along the way as we make sacrifices and make changes in our lives. I give thanks and honor to each and every one who showed up for this meeting today. It is such a blessing to have them. And I just want to send everybody off into the evening with love and light. So mote it be. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I'm so glad I made it in time. It was so good to be here. And I'll see you guys. I think all of you are support group people. So I'll see you tomorrow. For the month of September, like I said, I'm still essentially on a break, but I would never let you guys down. So all things related to support group and book club will still be happening. So if you're not seeing me on Instagram and stuff like that, or making videos, that's why. But members, you always have access to me in the comments, on the community tab and things like that. We will be starting the next book, 365 Days of Hoodoo, on September 1st, or around there. I think some of you have already started, which is great. I am gonna go live with you guys. So I'm gonna go live with just the members. I think I'm gonna do that for every book. At the beginning of the book, go live just so I can answer any questions if people are having a hard time getting a copy, or they don't know how to use the book or whatever, just to check in and make sure everybody knows what we're doing and all that stuff. So do pay attention, because I won't be posting that on Instagram. It'll just be like how this was in the community tab. I'll be letting you know, the day before or something. I'm gonna go live. We'll talk about 365 Days of Hoodoo. We'll get started on it. And then you'll see the poll up so we can vote on what day and time for September works best for everybody. So just pay attention to the YouTube community tab. That's pretty much the only place where I'll definitely be posting until I'm like officially back, or what have you. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Lots of love and light. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And thank you for being here. Blessed be.